being done with a timer that's going to go off on the, is it recorded? Yep. Oh, okay, well, good morning everyone. Today we have a class that's combination of cardio and strength. We're doing supersets today, which means that we're doing opposing muscle groups. We're going to do 3 sets of each pair of exercise, and then at the end of the third time that we do that we repeat the exercise, we're going to do some cardio. So we're going to begin with a little bit of a warm-up. Let's get our shoulders warmed up with big circles behind. And I'm going to show you different ways to do exercises with household items in case you don't have any equipment at home. Common things that we have around the house. And now let's go forward. There's no excuse to not exercise at home and not do this class because I'm sure you all have some of the things I've brought here today. Okay, now let's take a wider stance, arms to the side, and reach from side to side, bending at the knee, starting to warm up the lower body a little bit as well. Just reach and reach and reach. And a few more of these. Now let's bring the feet back together. We're going to stretch the side of the body. Just reach from side to side, overhead. That feels good. Stretching the side of the body and the lats. And a couple more. Okay, let's do some more for the lower body. We're going to come into another wide stance again, and you're going to begin rocking back and forth. You're stretching out your inner thighs here. You can place your hands on the floor if you wish, or just stay in this position. Start feeling that in your inner thighs. If you don't, try to go a little bit wider. And if you don't want to have your hands on the floor, you can be upright like so. We like to do dynamic stretches, which means we don't hold the position for the warm-up because our muscles are not warm yet, and we don't want to overstretch anything before it's warmed up. Okay, now we're going to turn to the side in a split stance position, and we're going to stretch our hip flexors, which is the muscles that run down the front of the hip. So you're going to try to press your hip to the floor, toward the floor. If you can't touch the floor, you can have an object such as a chair here to hold on to. I'll just demonstrate. Yes, you can just hold on to a chair. As long as you're feeling that stretch in that part of the hip here. Okay, now we're going to come back up. And this time we're going to stretch the hamstring. So we'll go back. Flex the toes, feel the stretch. You can also have your hands on the floor here. And a few more on this side. And now we're switching to the opposite side, so split stance with the opposite foot forward. And let's begin by pushing the hip forward to stretch that hip flexor. Regardless of whether you've got your hands on the floor or on an object, you should be feeling that in the hip. Okay, now let's bring that foot a little bit closer, and we're going to stretch the hamstring now. So alternate between flexed and pointed down. Feel the stretch in your hamstring, which is the back of that back leg. And you can try to bring your chest a little closer each time. And 3, 2, and 1. Come back to a standing position. Last part of the warm-up, we're going to warm up the quads a little bit more. We're going to do some squats, just some body weight squats. So come down, keeping your back as flat as possible. You don't have to go super low. You should feel that in the front part of your legs here. Warming up those muscles. It's very humid today. Feels warm in here. All right, let's do 3, 2, and last 1. All right, so now we're getting into our workout. Today what I have some towels. If you have a smooth floor, you can use these for one of the exercises. If you're working out on carpet, you can use paper plates. And I'll show you how to use that. And I also have some soup cans that we can use if you don't have dumbbells. I have some of these Tetra Packs that are slightly heavier than the cans. You can use these as dumbbells as well. And I've got a big, this is a jug of Epsom salts, but anything like a laundry detergent jug or something slightly heavier than the cans is good as a kettlebell, or when you only use one weight. So, and I also have a pillow. Any toss pillow around the house will work. Okay, our first set, we're going to be working at the legs. So for the first exercise, we're going to use our chair. We're just going to do chair squats. So you're coming down and just touching your backside to the chair, keeping the focus on those quads. The second exercise is going to be hamstring curls. And here's where you need either your towels or your paper plates. And you're going to be on the floor for those. I'll just demonstrate before we start. So you're going to place your heels on those implements. And you're going to be in a glute bridge position and stretch out one leg at a time. If you really want a challenge, you can do both legs at a time. You should feel that in your hamstring. Okay, and we have a timer for 40 seconds as well. We're doing this pair of exercise 3 times. Once that's done, we're gonna do some cardio for 20 seconds. So I'm gonna set the timer for 40 seconds, and we're going to begin with our chair squat. So in 10 seconds, going. Here's the timer and begin. So keep your back nice and flat. Stick out your bum and just touch the chair with it. Don't sit down unless you really have to. We want to make sure we're activating those quads. And we're already halfway through this one. You can also use some weight here if you want. To just make it more intense, you can always add weight. And stop. Now we're going down to the floor for our hamstrings. So get your heels on either your plates or your towels or whatever you're using. And hips up and extend. It's a good way to clean the floor too. Make sure you keep those hips up so that you're feeling that in your hamstring. You can also use these towels or paper plates for arm exercises, upper body exercise in a push-up position. You can slide your hand out to the side and so on. There's a lot of different options. And stop. And we're coming back up. So if you want to use some weights here, feel free to do so if you didn't find it was intense enough. So experiment with different things that you need to do to get a good workout, to make sure you feel it. Halfway there.
Seconds.
And stop. And get down to the floor. Second time for these. Hips up and begin. And here again, if you want to make it more intense, you can use both legs at the same time. Just make sure you continue pressing up with those hips.
Halfway there.
10 seconds. Almost there. And release. Last time for the squat. And I'll demonstrate with the one weight if you wish to use just a heavier weight in front. Begin. But make sure you're not rounding forward. Keep the shoulders back. Back nice and flat.
Halfway there.
Also, if you have empty jugs, you can fill them up with water however much you want. That's also another good tool. And 3, 2, and 1. And last set of hamstring curls. Here we go. Hips up and begin.
Round 6.
Keep pushing those hips up. You're also working the glutes here. But when you bring the foot back toward the hips, that should be mostly hamstrings.
Halfway there.
3, 2, 1, release. Okay, so we've done all 3 sets. Now we're gonna do a little blast of cardio for 20 seconds. And what we're doing is the hacky sack. So you can either touch the arch of your foot as you're coming up, or you can just march it out as quickly as you can, because we want to raise the heart rate a little bit here. So here we go, let's begin. And 3, 2, 1, stop. Okay, have some water if you need to. We're taking a little bit longer break while I explain the next set. So we're going to be moving to chest and back now. So the first exercise, if you have dumbbells or cans or whatever you have around the house that's of equal weight. The first exercise we're doing for the chest is the butterfly. So you're going to start at the top, keeping the elbows bent like you're hugging a tree, like so. And for the second exercise, we're going up, and you can grab your jug or whichever heavier item you have. You're going to hinge at the hips, back is flat, and roll up. And when we're done that side, we're going to the other side for the next 40 seconds. So this set's gonna be a little bit longer because we've got those 2 exercises that are unilateral. Okay, so we're gonna begin with our flies on the floor. And here we go.
Round 7.
So try to feel that in the chest. Squeeze the cans or the dumbbells and really squeeze at the top, like you're hugging a tree. Your elbows remain bent. Don't lock them out because it could hurt the elbow. It can cause elbow problems if we lock out our elbows with weight.
10 seconds.
And 10 seconds. And stop. So this exercise was to work the chest muscles. Now we're working the opposing muscle group, which is in our back. And you're getting your heavy weight here. Hinge at the hips and begin rowing. Keep your upper arm close to the body and squeeze. Should look like this. This is how close you keep your upper arm to the body.
Halfway there.
Almost there.
10 seconds.
Okay, 15 seconds, and then we're switching to the other side. You can also support yourself on a chair if you find it's too hard to keep that position, or if it's just more comfortable, and begin.
Round 9.
Just to make sure that your back is flat. Squeeze as you come up.
Halfway there. 10 seconds.
And almost there. And 3, 2, 1, and stop. our chest exercise, chest flies. And begin.
Round 10.
Really squeeze at the top. Try to keep the low back pressed to the floor as well, just for good form. You don't want to arch that back. Keep the back in good position.
Halfway there.
Squeeze as you come up.
Seconds.
And stop. Back to the bent over row. Hinging at the hips and roll up.
Round 11.
Keep the upper arm close to your side here. Squeeze at the top. You can take a split second pause at the top to make sure that you're squeezing.
Halfway there.
And
10 seconds.
10 seconds to go. On this side.
Rest.
And rest. Now switch side. And here again, you can use something to support yourself. Even if it's something higher than a chair, would also work.
Round 12.
Because you want to have your back about 45 degrees here. It's not 90 degrees. Keep that arm close to the body.
Halfway there.
Oh, I think I can feel the air conditioning come on. Just like every other Monday, it comes on just before 10 o'clock. And release.
Rest.
One last set of these two exercises. And then let's begin.
Round 13.
Hug that tree. Squeeze. Halfway there.
Seconds.
And stop. Last set of bent over rows. Get ready, hinge at the hips, and roll up.
Round 14.
And squeeze. Make it count. The more you can connect your mind to the muscle, the more effective it's going to be.
Halfway there.
You don't need a lot of weight to make it effective. You just have to think and make it
10 seconds.
work. And stop. Switching side for the last time here. And hinging at the hips. Get ready. And begin.
Round
Last time. There are studies done that show that as we age, we lose muscle mass. I think it's between 3 and 8% per decade after the age of 30 if we don't use our muscles. And even if you've been inactive for a while, you can still regain some of that muscle mass.
10 seconds.
But it's very important to do so, to be able to live our daily lives and continue doing the things we enjoy. And stop. Okay, so we've done 3 sets. We're doing the cardio now, and we're going to do split squats. So if you want to keep it low impact, try to do quick reverse lunges. If you want a high impact version, we're going to jump a little bit. And 20 seconds, let's begin. Keep going and stop. Okay, moving on to different exercises now. So for the shoulders, the first exercise we're going to do is going to be side and front raises. So alternate between the side and the front. For that second exercise, we're going to do a sumo squat with an upright row. So here you might want your heavier weight, or you can use your dumbbells too. So you're gonna come up and so squat, up, leading with the elbows and not the wrists. And if you want to do it with the dumbbells or the cans, same thing. Sumo squat, upright row. Okay. So, start the timer and we're going to go in 10 seconds, beginning with those shoulder raises. And here we go, side and front. So this exercise targets the side and the front deltoids in your shoulder. And our upright row in the second exercise is going to be for your traps, which are right below your neck.
Halfway there.
So nice controlled motion. Try not to swing and slowly lower to get more advantage out of that lift. And stop. So the trap muscles, trapezius, is behind here, and that's what the upright row is mostly targeting. So if you can use a jug or dumbbells or cans for this as well, and upright row. So nice wide stance, toes pointing outward slightly, come down as low as you can, and then up in the upright position. Bring that weight up toward your chin, leading with the elbows.
Halfway there.
We don't want the wrists up, we want the elbows up. Feel that
10 seconds.
working in the traps. And stop. Back to our front and side raises. Hope everybody's feeling okay. A little better with the air conditioning coming on. And side and front. So here again, don't drop the weight. Lower it in a nice controlled motion to take full advantage of it. Because when we try to make the exercise easier, we're only cheating ourselves.
Halfway there.
And if it's too heavy, that's when we need to get a lighter weight,
10 seconds.
but still keep it intense. And stop. Wide stance. And begin. Sumo squat, upright row. So all one fluid motion. Here again, lower with control. Keeping the back flat. Don't round your back forward like so. That's not effective and it could be harmful.
Halfway there.
You don't have to go all the way down. Bend at the knees. Roll up. And stop. Last set. And let's begin side and front. If you're finding that your household items are too light, you can get creative and fill water bottles with stones or sand or something like that. But I gather that probably most people have a set of dumbbells. And if you're planning to do any kind of workout at home, it's really handy to have a set or two for various weights. A heavier set and a lighter set is perfect. You can often find those on Marketplace too, or at garage sales. I think and begin. A lot of people went and bought exercise equipment during the pandemic, and maybe they're not using it anymore and they're selling it. So it's a good time probably to get stuff at garage sales or on Marketplace.
Halfway there.
This is our last set here. Then we're going to cardio. And stop. Okay, so for our cardio this time, we're going to do mummy walks. I'll just demonstrate. You're going to hold your hands parallel to the floor and cross them in front. At the same time as you kick out your feet, you can do this low impact as well. But having the arms at this level is going to help increase the heart rate. All right, let's begin. Notification, sorry about that. 20 seconds is almost over. I thought that was a quick 20 seconds. Here it is. There. Okay, so ready for the next pair of exercises. We're gonna work our bicep and our triceps here. So the first exercise, we're gonna be doing Zottman curls. So you begin with your palms facing out, curl up, reverse, palms are facing back now. So at the top, you turn and come back down. Really squeeze your cans or your dumbbells so that you get a good activation in the bicep here. And here again, you're keeping your arms close to the body. Upper arms close to the side of the body. Second exercise are going to be tricep dips. And you're going to use a chair for this, if you have one handy. And I'll show you different options here. You can have your feet and your legs at 90 degrees here and come down as low as you can and straighten the arms fully. If you want to make it even more difficult, legs come out right to the front and straight, like so. And some people may have shoulder issues with the dips, and I'll just show you another alternative. It would be a tricep kickback. So you're gonna hinge at the hips and kick back. So start at the armpit and kick back. Straighten the arms fully. That's a little easier on the shoulder. Not quite as effective, but it's a definitely a good alternative. So we're gonna begin with our curls in 3, 2, 1. So curl up and down. So here again, this is a nice controlled motion. Squeeze. Keeping the upper arms close to the body. Halfway there. Almost there. And release.
Rest.
Okay, tricep exercise, whichever one you choose to do. And begin.
Next round.
Remember, the closer you bring your feet in, the less difficult it's going to be. And make sure you fully straighten the arm at the top. And same if you're doing those tricep kickbacks with the dumbbells or the cans, make sure you straighten the arm fully in the kickback position.
Seconds.
Almost there. And release. Shake out those arms. That can be hard on the wrists as well, on the chair. So just do a couple of wrist circles if you need to. Back to our curls.
Next round.
Squeeze. And control on the way down. You have to be careful if you're using some of those light water bottles, not to squeeze too hard or you might have a little bit of a flood. But ideally you want to be able to squeeze to really activate that bicep. And stop. I'll just do the tricep kickbacks here in case you want to get a better look at it. Otherwise, use your chair. So you're hinging at the hips and straightening those arms behind. You can also do tricep dips on the floor, and I will demonstrate that for the final time we're doing it, just in case you're finding the chair or this not effective.
10 seconds. Rest.
Okay, last set of curls. And curl up and down. Squeeze, control.
Halfway there.
Halfway there.
Seconds.
And release. And I will just demonstrate the floor tricep dip in case you choose that option. So you're just going to extend the feet if you wish and just press up. It's a very small movement, but it's still effective. It's more effective on the chair or on a lifted surface, but this works too. You can really feel the contraction in the tricep when you push up. And it's the same for this one. If you want to make it a little easier, you can bring the feet in a bit closer. Like so. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, that was the final one. And we're just going to do some knee pull downs for our cardio, so you can keep it low impact like so. Try to raise your arms up though to get the full effect. If you want to add a little hop, feel free to do so. All right, 20 seconds, let's go. Feel free to, and stop, feel free to do whatever cardio you want to do at home. If you don't like this particular one, you can just run on the spot or do jumping jacks or whatever cardio you like. Okay, last superset. You're going to need a pillow for this one. We're going to do some core moves. The first one is mostly for the middle and the top of the abs. The second one is for the lower abs mostly. So the first exercise we're going to start with both the arms and feet up. You come down at the same time. Grab the pillow. If you don't have, you can do this without, you can also do it without anything. I'm sorry I didn't, if you guys don't want to use pillows, sorry about that. I forgot, I neglected that one. And the second one, we're going to put the pillow between the knees and just a nice little lift up. And you can do this without a pillow as well. Yes, a yoga block would work too. Great. Thanks, Julia. Okay. We're going to be going in 12 seconds. So get on your back, arms and feet at the top, and begin. So lower both at the same time, and just pass your object between the hands and the feet. If you want it more challenging, you can keep the shoulders off the floor.
Halfway there.
Like so. So you're lowering slowly. This is not a race. And stop. Okay. Now you're placing either your yoga block or your pillow between the legs. Heels go to the ceiling. And begin. So just a nice little lift. It doesn't have to be high. You can probably barely see my hips lifting, but I'm really feeling that in the low abs. You're trying to lift your legs or your feet straight to the ceiling.
Halfway there.
You can use your hands here to assist a little bit.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. And stop. Okay. How's everybody doing with those yoga blocks? Okay. Get ready. Here we go.
Next round.
can also do this exercise with one of those big stability balls. We do that sometimes.
Halfway there.
Try to keep your low back mostly on the floor. It's probably going to lift off a little bit. And stop. Oops, no, not yet. I think that was 10 seconds. Keep going. Now we stop. Sorry about that. The volume is pretty low, so. And feet up toward the ceiling. Hands on the side and begin. A little lift up. Press up. Squeeze that pillow.
Halfway there.
Halfway there. It's just a little lift. No need to try to go
10 seconds.
too high. And stop. Okay, last set of each exercise. I hope you're feeling it. And let's go. Yes, the next day we'll probably tell the tale. Our core is very important to strengthen because it helps to support our back, our spine.
Halfway there.
If you've ever had back issues and gone to a therapist, they've probably recommended
10
some
seconds.
core exercises to strengthen that part. And release. Last one. And then we're going to our cool down and stretch. Okay, feet up and lift and squeeze the pillow. You don't need a pillow for this one. You can just do it with nothing. But when you have the pillow and you focus on squeezing, it's even more effective. Almost there, 10 seconds. And stomp. Okay, you can remain on the floor. Now we're going to go into, we're gonna hug our knees into our chest. I'm just gonna change up that music. Okay, so on the floor, hugging our knees into our chest and rocking side to side, massaging the back into the floor, making some circles if you wish. You're gonna feel the stretch in your glutes. A little bit here too. Okay. Now let's bring the feet up to the ceiling. Grab the back of your legs and try to bring them closer to the chest. Stretching the hamstrings, the back of the legs here. And take some deep breaths. And on the exhalation, try to bring those legs even closer to your chest. We're trying to get that stretch to really target the hamstrings. And now that our muscles are warmed up, we can do these static stretches where you hold the stretch for 30 seconds or so. We just don't really want to do that before we're warmed up. And back up to the ceiling. Now grab the inside of your legs. Let the legs fall to the side. And feel a stretch in your inner thighs here. So you can adjust your hands if you want them up higher or underneath the legs, whichever feels most comfortable. And then inhale, and when you exhale, try to deepen the stretch a little bit more. And release. Now come back to the center with your feet on the floor. Now we're going to cross one foot over the other leg and bring that leg up straight to the ceiling, forming an upside down figure four. You're going to be feeling that in the outside part of your glute here and the hip. Try to keep that straight leg perpendicular to the floor. If you bring it inward too much, it doesn't stretch as much as it would if it's perpendicular. Nice deep breath, slowing everything down. And switch side, same thing. Feel that stretch in this part here, the outer part of the glute. More seconds here. And release. Now we're going to roll over to the side. We're going to stretch our quads, the front part of our leg. So on your side, you can use your arm as a pillow here if you like. And grab the ankle of the top leg, trying to bring the knees as close together as possible. Squeezing the glutes as well. You should feel that stretch in the front part of your leg here. Red faces. I think the air conditioning never comes on at the right time. And release. And now switch to the opposite side. You can just roll yourself over. I just don't want to put my back to you here, so same thing. And here again, inhale. Exhale, nice and slow. And feel free to hold these stretches longer if you wish. We're just going through several of them so you have an idea of what to do. And release. Now we're coming to our hands and knees. And you're going to bring one leg forward in a nice wide step and push forward with the hip. Try to push that hip forward and downward, so that we're getting a stretch in the hip flexor. And we can stretch the front of our shoulders and the chest at the same time by placing the hands at the small of the back and trying to get your elbows closer together. while continuing to press that hip forward. And release. Let's switch side. Same thing, push the hip forward. And this time, we can bring our arms forward and round the back, push out, stretching the back of your shoulders and upper back here. Continue to press that hip forward though. Keep pressing. And release. Now coming to your hands and knees once again. We're gonna go into a downward dog position. And here you're gonna press forward with your hands. Head is through the arms. And we're gonna walk our feet out a little bit. Just pedal the feet up and down, stretching the calves. Stretching the shoulders by pushing forward with the hands. Now let's begin walking our hands closer to the, or our feet closer to the hands, sorry. Slowly. And when they're both together, just hang here for a few seconds in a forward fold. Releasing the spine. And begin to roll up nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. And when you're up, you can roll the shoulders a few times back and a few times forward. And let's do our final stretch here, wide stance. Reach down, inhale, reach up, exhale. Once more. And last time. And bring your feet together. Reach for the ceiling. And release. And we are done. Thank you for joining me.